Hello friend, welcome to the House of Sugar Creek. I'm Taylor Bradford and it's Vlogmas, and today I will be making cookies with you and sharing some Christmas memories. So let's get to making some ugly Christmas sweater cookies together. So I picked up this kit from Target. It is the Ugly Sweater Cookie Kit, and it gives you the instructions on the back and kind of what's included. So we've got cookies and then icing and then detail icing and then the candies you can put on it, and there's some inspo. Shows you how to handle this bag of icing. It shows you how to handle this bag of icing, and it's a really cute kit. So there are 12 cookies in here. So we're going to bring the kit out. So each are individually wrapped. And then we've got the candy, the big bag of icing, and then the 3 little individual icings for your details. I think these little guys are super cute. There are snowflakes, Christmas trees, red dots, candy canes, gingerbread men, and ivy or holly leaves, and holly leaves. And on the front of the box there is a lot of inspo. So that is what we are going to do. And 2 cookies per pack. We're going to start with 2 cookies, and we are going to use a plate. And we're going to get to decorating and storytelling. So it first says to knead this icing bag for 2 minutes to make it pliable. What word do they use? More fluid, to make the icing more fluid. And it kind of looks like you mostly use this to completely fill up your cookie if you want a white sweater, but it also looks like they did red sweaters and green sweaters. Alright, now that wasn't 2 minutes, but it's kind of warm in the warehouse right now, so we're gonna go ahead and cut a small corner off of the bag so we can get this icing out, and truly cut a small, because you can't, once you cut, you can't go backwards. So it's better to cut small and then fix if it's not big enough. And I think that's gonna be good. So let's see. I won't be able to show you details as I'm doing this, but I'm not a professional cookie decorator either. So we're going to just chat with each other, or I'm gonna chat with you while I do this. So this first cookie is definitely going to be an all white sweater. Now I'm curious how they expect you to spread. You spread this with your finger and get messy. I guess you might get messy. So we're going to just see what we got going on here. And maybe it's like royal icing and maybe it just spreads itself out. I don't know. I've never done this before. I do remember growing up around the holidays we would do a lot of baking, especially at my grandparents' house. More so at my mom's parents. My grandmother, my mom's mom, did a lot of baking. She made her own divinity. We always made some kind of cookie. My grandfather always made a type of fruit cake, except it wasn't a fruit cake. I don't even know how to describe this other than it was like a breakfast bread with candies on it. So it was like candied candies, and that doesn't make a lick of sense to you, but I have the recipe. I should probably attempt to make one of these years. But our holiday tradition specifically for Christmas, we would go to a grandparent's house or they would come to us. If it was our turn to do Christmas with my mom's parents, there was always a play or some kind of entertainment after the Christmas Eve service. So we would go to Christmas Eve service, and I think we would eat dinner beforehand and then Christmas Eve service, and it was always by candlelight, which was so fun as a kid. Holding the candle, you just thought you were the coolest person ever to have a candle in church. Of course, it always had the bobesh on it, the little piece of paper that went around it so the wax wouldn't drip on your hand, although the wax always dripped on your hand. Okay, let's see, do they have necks? Oh yes, these are like turtleneck sweaters. How fun is that? Okay, so we're gonna make this one have a turtleneck. And Christmas Eve candlelight service was always really special. It was just a tradition that we always did, and I love a good tradition. All right, I'm gonna show you what it looks like so far. So it is kind of spreading out on its own. I think we're gonna let it kind of do its thing for a second while I start on the next one. So the Christmas Eve candlelight service was just really magical as a kid. Not only were we celebrating the birth of Jesus, it just like the wonderment of Christmas and being with family and having these traditions. And then when we would get home, we would open a present. At some point before we went to sleep, my brother and I would always open a present, and they were always Christmas pajamas. Every year until my mom passed away, and I was 24 when she passed away. So for years 1 through 23, we received Christmas PJs every year. And most of the time they were matching. I don't recall them ever not matching. I still remember that. And very, very, very fond memory. So we opened that up, and then like I said, if my mom's parents if it was their Christmas or their year for Christmas, my grandfather would always have a play that he wrote, and then me and my brother would be characters on his play, and then we would perform for my parents and my grandmother. And one year we did one where he changed our names to read it backwards, and I don't remember how we pronounced my brother's name. My brother's first name was Justin, so I don't remember how exactly that sounded backwards, but mine, Taylor, backwards, was Roll Yacht. And so that was our names that year. And I don't recall what it was about. I feel like it had to be something similar to the Scrooge story. I'll never forget that. And I kind of wish I still had his play manuals, like the actual playbook for these special Christmas shows that we would perform. All right, so that, I just opened the green and it did nothing. I twisted that top off and it did nothing. So we're gonna, oh yes, open it up. And this is more gel-like. It's not exactly what it is pictured, but it's more gel-like. So let's make a green ugly sweater. Oh, and it's drippy. So those plays were just so much fun. Okay, I definitely did not open that enough. So let's wipe it off with my thumb and try to get it open again. Oh, okay, I think that'll work. Tastes like icing. Oh, tastes like green icing, as opposed, to blue icing or yellow icing. Never been a fan of colored icing, just tastes funny. When I look for cupcakes, I always look for cupcakes with white icing, because I'm not a fan of what they color it with, what it tastes like. But hopefully it'll be masked. Okay, this is definitely more gel-like. I know I've already said that. So, I would love to know what your traditions are. Did you bake cookies? Did you make cakes? I remember also making candy cane cookies with that same grandparent, which I plan on sharing that recipe in a future Vlogmas episode. Maybe in the next couple of episodes you'll see those cookies. I absolutely love peppermint cookies. I love these cookies, and I haven't had them in a really long time. I think the last time I made candy cane cookies was a decade ago. Is that not sad? That is sad. We are going to remedy that. back and add a little detail to this guy. Alright, we've got details, or outline I should say, on this one, and this guy needs something. So let's see, let's go ahead and open up the white. So that we can just kind of fill this guy in. This reminds me of the Pillsbury cinnamon roll icing. Alright, we got all of the icing on. Let's add some detail to our sweaters without spilling all of these candies everywhere. Alright, let's make this one ugly. Alright, so here are my ugly Christmas sweater cookies. They're not terrible. They are ugly. But I'm going to do one more cookie because of all of this red and blue in honor of my high school colors. So let's do one more. So I made 3 cookies. This is the one that I just finished, plus this hideous sweater and this hideous sweater. Actually, they're not terrible. Do I think there's enough icing for 12 of these cookies? No. So if you plan on decorating any more than probably 6 cookies, you might want to go ahead and get another box or buy some more icing. Let me just do a taste test on whether or not this cookie's any good. Well, I have to bite it. It is a standard shortbread that was made a while ago. It's a little on the stale side. It does say best before June of next year. I don't know how that's even possible. I think they would get even more stale. Still fun to do if you like traditions, and I would encourage you to do it. I think this was less than $10 at Target for this particular cookie making kit. I don't think that's a terrible price. I actually feel like it was like maybe $5. Who knows, but shortbread's not terrible, but just a hair close to the stale side. So I will be back tomorrow with another Vlogmas episode. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'm going to pop up that subscribe circle right there. It's actually a picture of me. Just click it and then click the subscribe button. And then down below, I am putting the Vlogmas series. So if you haven't caught all of the Vlogmas episodes, that is where you can go and check them all out. Until tomorrow, I'm going to get to writing some Christmas cards. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.